Hello, Don't Die Rusty family. This week's guest is Dr. Ray Jensen. I get to call him friend. And this next episode, when we talk, it's about life, it's about adventures, it's about just being the best you. And I love talking to Ray because he's such a thoughtful person and we have such great conversations. So I hope you enjoy the next episode of the Don't Die Rusty podcast. But before I let you get to that, I want to say I just opened don'tdierusty.com, and if you would give it a look, that'd be great. I have my merch on there. You can buy t-shirts, sweatshirts, all kinds of things there, and I would greatly appreciate it. One other thing I'd greatly appreciate is if you would give us a review, give us a share, give us a subscribe. I would just, I'd be greatly appreciated if you do that. So sit back and listen to a wonderful conversation with Dr. Ray Jensen. Hello, Don't Die Rusty Nation. I am lucky enough, it's fun to be able to call Ray friend. And he texted me that he was coming into town for a few days, and I said, can we do an episode? And of course, Ray said, of course. So that makes me happy. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah.
I don't get to see you as much anymore.
I know, life changes fast.
It does. And it's funny, I did a episode last week, and was with Olivia Jacobs, and we were talking about the sauna, and I said, you know, when we did Fire and Ice, when I was going to your house to do a Fire and Ice, I said I didn't feel pain for 2 or 3 days.
I know. I miss that sauna. I had to sell it. Yeah. I couldn't move it from South Dakota to Idaho, so it stayed here in South Dakota. But yeah, it's a good modality for sure. Yeah,
it is. And someday I'm going to have one. I'm going to have that and the Fire and Ice because we were talking. Well, I'm going to come back to this, so I'm going to write this down.
All right, sounds good. But take notes.
Yes. But where I want to go in the beginning is, you've moved to Boise, you've been on a few adventures. How's life treating you?
You know, I can't complain. I think it's definitely different. Life tends to throw you a lot of curveballs. And yeah, I mean, it's a big city, so that's a lot different than South Dakota. But lots of changes. I'm traveling quite a bit and just trying to figure out a new way to do life, I guess, like a new phase of life. But my son's been ski racing all winter, and so we get pretty occupied with that. I do a lot of the coaching and that kind of stuff. So we got the championships for like the division or next weekend.
Oh.
So yeah. So
in Idaho?
In Idaho. Well, it's in Jackson Hole, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's ranked 14th right now. So we'll see how he does this next weekend. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Just trying to focus on the kids and the family and just trying to make good decisions, right?
You're talking to the wrong person here.
That's what's been difficult for me in the past. So I'm just working on that, trying to control life a little bit. So.
Well, sometimes I make decisions that are not all right, but at least I made a decision, I guess.
Yeah, you got to move forward.
And that's the way we all need to keep on moving forward and chase dreams. And I mean, you and I have talked off camera, and you don't have to talk about this, but you and I, you're in Idaho. Your son wanted to be a ski racer, and there's not really opportunity in this area to be a great ski racer. I mean, we have one big mountain and Ruffle, and it's not huge, but you're going to Jackson Hole you're helping him chase his dream, is what I'm saying.
Well, I'm trying, Yeah. It is. I mean, but it changes. He's 12 years old, so it's like, who knows? Tomorrow it'll be something else. But, yeah, I mean, my wife loves it out there, so it's been good. Yeah.
Good. So. I saw you went to Australia.
Yep.
And where else did you go? Did you go to Fiji?
I was in Fiji, yep. Mm-hmm.
And then you get in that water, and that's where, like I said, it scares me.
Well, I was, because you were telling me about that shark thing when I called you, because I knew you'd been to Australia before. Like, I'm not too worried about sharks, and so I'm out there surfing, doing this stuff, and I had a jet ski kind of towing me around and all that stuff, and I'm surfing a wave, and I look down, the water's pretty clear out there, and I'm like, well, that kind of looks like a shark. But I was like, kind of, well, you kind of scoot past it, and I kept surfing, and then, the jet ski guy was some guy that surfs there all the time. I'm like, hey, was that kind of looked like a bigger fish. Like, how are the sharks around here? It's like, oh yeah, he goes over with his jet ski, circles around, comes back. It's only like a 6 or 7 foot bull shark, so it won't, a reef shark or something.
Yeah.
It's not going to bother you. I was like, whoa. Okay, just kept surfing. So you have reason to worry. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was if I remember right, it was a tiger shark, and they're a little more aggressive, and I just still remember that. I thought, they found the surfboard with a bite mark on it, and I don't even know if they did find the guy.
I don't know. Yeah.
So that's kind of.
I try not to think about it when I'm surfing, so it is what it is.
But you're above the water. Right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, until you crash.
That's true.
I mean, you're only temporarily. Yeah. I was doing a lot of pumping that little foil board, so I didn't have to get in the water. But no, it was good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what else is what are you seeing in the future?
Oh, geez, that's a deep question.
I hear you.
I'm kind of living like day by day right now, but. Oh, I don't know. Future is, it's always strange. When I look at the future, if you plan your life out, who knows? You can't get too fixated on one thing. Looking too far in advance might make it so you can't see what's in front of you. So I'm trying this phase of my life, I should say, or at least so I tell my wife, I'm trying to live life in phases and try to focus on what's happening now. I don't really want to plan my life out in 30 years. Everybody seems to be doing that. But then I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea. So,
well, I truly don't think it's a good idea, actually, because I think if you start planning, you start losing, actually, because I think when you have a plan, and we'll just say like the normal person that says, I'm going to retire in 30 years. So I'm going to work till for those 30 years, and I'm not going to enjoy life.
Right.
More or less. And I'm way past that.
What happens? They retire and die the next day.
That's exactly where I am.
Yeah.
So I don't believe that I think, and that's why, we were talking earlier, that's why I'm trying to chase other dreams. It's the scariest thing that I've done is like my website's going to open I'm going to open it on the Monday or the Sunday before your episode, which is this coming out this weekend.
That's big, yeah. Good.
That's big.
That's
and
a
then
big thing, yeah.
And then I'm trying to do other things, but I think if you don't keep on expanding, if you don't keep on moving forward, you never will.
Right. Yeah.
Here's the deal. When I first got to know you, that was with my knees. And we're in now, like, I still feel no pain in my knees. I can't say they aren't sore every once in a while when I push them hard. But I'm saying by talking to you and learning stuff besides health-wise and then doing the fire and ice, and since we became friends, I research things because in casual conversation I go, I want to learn about that, and that helps me out.
Yeah, it's the power of change, right? Like, or just even a thought or an idea as it progresses. Lifestyle, right? Lifestyle change.
Yeah,
can make a huge impact on one's quality of life. Just a few cutting out this activity, cutting out, maybe if it's cutting out alcohol, cutting out cigarettes, whatever vice you have, if you can somehow make small changes over the course of a long period of time, it certainly can be helpful and impactful to your health and life.
Well, I know it's impactful to mine because I've lost weight. I think that was one of my big problems. I'll admit that one. And before you came this morning, since it snowed, I had to go push snow at work. And then I got home tonight and I went for my walk that I normally do in the morning and you've been on that walk, but I said, I got to go do this, or because I feel lazy if I don't go do it.
Yeah. Well, movement is medicine.
Have you ever seen, there's this guy, and this is where I probably will never be him in aspect, but it's kind of interesting. Uh, there's a there's a video out, and it's showing older people. This is funny. This is interesting. And you probably won't be able to hear it, but I posted it. Actually, I posted it today.
Oh,
and look at this guy.
I haven't
81 years old. Look at him run.
Oh, the sprinter. Yeah.
Have you?
That's impressive. Yeah.
And that's where I want to be someday. You know, I mean, I know maybe I won't be running that fast, but that guy's taking care of himself.
Oh, yeah.
81 years old and running like that.
What is that, like 100-yard dash or something?
Yeah, something like that. It's just amazing to me.
It's pretty good. Think of all the 81-year-olds out there that are walking with walkers. Yeah.
And they're not cognitively there and they're not physically there because they don't take care of themselves. I talked to Olivia Jacobs last week and we were talking about how you change your life. And I never thought about this, but she had this analogy that, like, I don't remember where she got it, but she said this guy came up to two smokers that stopped smoking a week before. And the guy says, do you want a cigarette? And he says, no, I just stopped smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And they had been smokers for life. And the second one, he said, do you want a cigarette? And he says, I'm not a smoker. And it's all about attitude. And
perception.
Yeah. It is the perception that I'm not a smoker anymore. Mm-hmm. So I think people get lost in themselves that they don't think they can do it. They don't have the belief that I'm old. I'm 80 years old and I'm old, so I can't go do things.
Yeah. I think the mind essentially is a very powerful thing. And I think sometimes people can get, and I'm guilty of this for sure, but you can get stuck with this internal story that you tell yourself. I'm this, I'm that, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. And this story keeps repeating and repeating to yourself. And so you believe that, whether it's knee pain or whether it's smoking or whatever it is, the story that you tell yourself, eventually it becomes you, you know. I think I always tell people that. Change your narrative or change your story, or, you know. My wife always says she's much more intelligent than I am, but she says change your shitty. Sorry, I don't know
you can't.
Explicit.
No.
Your shitty rough draft.
Yep.
Or your first draft. You know, change that story and you know, make it. You can always move forward. Yeah. So.
Because I see some people, and I probably was one of these when I was younger. I kept on writing the same chapter every chapter. Until you decide that you want to change what the story is, you keep on writing. It may have changed just slightly, but you're still writing the same chapter of your life story, and you got to make a decision someday to change your life story.
Yep. And
when you change your life story, then you keep on moving forward, and then you can tell a better story of your life. I was listening to Ed Milet again, and I listened to Ed Milet a lot, but I think it was one of his deals, and he said, I can't remember who he was talking to either, but he said, when you get to the end of your life, and God says, how is your life? And you say, well, you know, it was pretty good. I can't complain. I had a fairly decent life. I had a good life. And then he keeps on talking to you. And then he pulls out his phone like I just did. Not that God would have a phone, but God has
You never know, maybe.
Yeah, God has his phone, and he says, and he clicks on it, and he pulls up a video. And then he shows it to you, and he says, look what your life could have been. So, and that struck me because I got thinking, are you slowing yourself down by not chasing your dreams? Are you slowing yourself down by not trying to move forward I'm not saying we have to like do everything every day, but we can be better people. We can chase dreams. We can live a fulfilled life.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. Yeah, I think it's a comfort, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever read that Comfort Crisis book or whatever.
I haven't read The Comfort Crisis, but
yeah, people are comfortable. They're like, we don't want to, it's always, you always hear the grass is greener or not always greener. A lot of sometimes people say that. It's different. Maybe not. But people get kind of comfortable in what they want to do. We talk about this in recovery a lot, back to the fire and ice and the ice baths and the creek and all that stuff that you jump into and it's hard, it's difficult, but without doing the hard, nothing changes. Some people don't want change. Yeah. And that's okay too. We don't want to, you don't want to shame those people that are, some people want a 30-year plan. Some people want to be comfortable and they're comfortable with their job and their status quo and what they're doing. And that's okay. I think that's great. That's the lifestyle that you want to live. And maybe the next phase of my life, I might be there, but right now I'm not. So,
Well, I think I may be jumping to conclusions, but here's the thing. I think we're comfortable. I shouldn't say comfortable, but I think we're comfortable in our relationships with our wives. But I'm still restless inside that I want to keep on doing things. So we're both lucky, because you were just talking to Cindy and I was talking to Cindy when you walked in. But where I'm going with this is, like she said, the podcast, she's not social media with me. She understands that I like it though.
Yeah.
And I want to do this stuff. And you go foiling and you go do what you want to do. And we have supportive wives that help us chase our dreams, but we're comfortable being in our relationships, but we get to experience life. And I think some people don't get to experience life.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, there's a lot of people out there. Yeah.
A
lot of different ways though.
There is a lot of different ways. And I don't try to pick on people. I just feel lucky. I tell her that every morning, that I'm lucky that she is so supportive of me, and she's chasing she's looking into chasing some of her dreams now, and I really, really appreciate that she's doing that. And I think, and you, I've been lucky enough to, when I was doing the fire and ice at your house, that your wife and I just got to have a few good conversations.
Yeah, my wife is a sweetheart. She's definitely more of a talker than I am. Let's just say that, right? Get that out of the way. I'm not much of a talker, but she likes to communicate for sure. Yeah.
Well, and I'm going to have her on someday.
You should, yeah.
I should.
She's been, yeah. She would. I don't know if she's ever done anything like that, but she would do it. I think she talked about it. Yeah.
Well, I think we should do it. I think that she would. I think she'd be a great conversation, and I think people would learn stuff.
Well, she's gotten into, she's really into the holistic side of things in the aspect of her health journey, and she's got her little business with what she's doing with the regenerative medicine and the peptides and all that stuff. And so, yeah, she's done a good job. Yeah.
Well, I assume she'll listen to this, so let's have a conversation.
Maybe she will. You never know.
Well, I'll just call her up.
We have to start talking about like politics and stuff. Then she'll tune in. Yeah.
Right. But I just love that. I was talking about our wives. They're both strong women.
Yeah, that's good.
That is, isn't it? I mean, that's why I'm appreciative of that. And they're both very, very strong women. And Cindy's a hippie and she's into holistic stuff too. And I enjoy that stuff because I learned stuff from her too. Like all this stuff. I was talking the other day, and we don't have to get into it, but I was saying, how many people can look at a $10,000 insurance bill and think that that's all right, but they won't go pay $500 for good food at the grocery store? You know?
Oh, that's a big conversation, Rick.
I know it is,
That
and I don't
is
want
a-
to get into that,
that
but
is
too
a-
bad.
Well,
I can have it.
It's conditioning, right?
Yeah.
It's marketing. It's the the machine of what you are believe or what you're taught. And so you got years of what you're watching TV and the school system. That's a huge story of like what we actually believe. I learned something the other day with I don't know if you listened to the Rogan, and I'm terrible. I should have looked this up, but about the women movement. Did you listen?
I haven't listened to that one yet. I listened to Rogan, but I don't listen
That was interesting. I need to read the gal's book. I wish I remember what it was called, but just the whole women's rights movement. She kind of does a deep dive into it, and that's changed our whole philosophy. Like our entire civilization has changed over one topic. I don't know what you want to call it, but everything has changed from that one thing. And so I think that just is very interesting to me. I thought, just from a sheer perspective standpoint of why things change and why things move the way they move. I wish people don't take the time anymore to think of the why. Why are we doing what we're doing? Everyone just moves through life and we've always done it that way. Well, no, we haven't always done it that way. You've just done it that way for the last whatever you are programmed or subconsciously you have available to you. It's just it's very interesting to me. Yeah.
Well, I've been lucky to be doing this podcast, to have you on. I've had Heather Gerst on. I've had her husband Mike Gerst on. I've had Melissa Aberley on, and I feel lucky enough that I can ask you guys questions, because there are times that I don't. We can be talking now, and then a week from now, something's going to pop into my head where I can say, "What do you think about this? I'm kind of. I just heard about this. I'm trying to learn about this stuff. Do you have anything that I could read or write? I don't think. I think what you just got done saying, people get conditioned and they don't ask questions. I'm asking questions like, what do you think about this? And I think that we need to learn that not all the answers are right. And I just keep on. Sometimes I get really angry at the system because it's interesting to me how we aren't going to get into this, but it's interesting to me how now if you have a blood transfusion or whatever, you can ask for COVID vaccine free blood.
Yeah.
And guess who they want to double from?
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of the few that we need your blood.
Yeah.
Because it's just interesting to me that we can't ask questions, and then we ask the questions, and then they aren't conspiracy theories because now they're real, and we're seeing things, and it's just crazy to me. And I won't get into that. I'll get into it with your wife. We'll get into that stuff.
Yeah, she'll have hopefully. Yeah, I mean, I could talk for days about conspiracy and all that aspect, but to your point, I think there's a great. I guess I don't watch that much TV, but the Ted Lasso. I don't know if you've seen that.
Watch the whole thing.
Yeah, the Be Curious.
Be curious.
Yeah,
not judgmental.
Not
Be
judgmental. Ask questions.
Yes.
Like, the more knowledge you have, the better information to make choices and move forward. And I think to your point, a lot of us, like even in the medical field, I think. Especially those of us who have kind of gone against the grain, I would say a little bit. I think we're more than happy to share what we've learned. It's taken decades of my life to try to learn what is the best way, right? Not what is the way, but what is the best way that works for people that I see. I want to see patterns. I want to see like indications. I want to see people getting better, because it's not fun when people don't get better. I want to be good, really good at what I do. So just like anybody else, like what's a golfer, a basketball player, archery, whatever, you taught me how to shoot a bow better. You're good at it. I want to know all the information so that I can be good at it.
And those conversations are where we learn, and that's where I'm not trying to get. I understand doctors need to get paid, and I understand everybody needs to get paid. And it's just that I'm asking a question: is this bad enough that I should come in and get it checked out, or what do you think about this or that? And I think that's where I feel that I'm lucky enough that I can ask that question. I wish there was somewhere where you could go and say, hey, because I think some people would be more. I talk to people that won't go to the doctor because they just want to ask this question, and they let it. It's kind of like you don't change your oil in your vehicle for 100,000 miles because you just never ask that question. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, maybe if I would have just asked you, should I change my oil? Like, then maybe the question gets answered, and you do, and then you go start doing the right thing. Is where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
So those are things that have just been. I'm trying to write stuff. I'm trying to get things down. I'm researching. I have this problem that I don't read a lot of fiction. I read a lot of nonfiction. I have this book called The Attributes. It's 25 hidden drivers of optimal performance. I'm working on. I just got.
Nice.
And that's the kind of stuff that I'm really, really interested in. And I'm trying to find out what motivates me, how to make myself better. And, and I'm lucky to hang out with people that I think can help me be better and surround myself. And you're one of them. So that's why I feel lucky. Like our walking conversations, those are the best, actually, those ones that those things just pop into your head.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember who was talking about it. I heard the other day, just like just a walking meditation sometimes is beneficial. Yeah, or just while you're moving, your mind's more open to change and thought. So, yeah.
Because my first half of most of my walks, I'm in my own head. Sometimes though, I don't even know what I'm thinking. There must have been a meditation because I get to that far into the morning. Like there's times that I get to the halfway point up Crow Peak, the Bear Ridge sign, and I go, I'm already here.
Yeah.
You're just thinking about things in your head, or you're just not. Well, most of the time it's in the dark though, when I'm climbing for a sunrise, but it's like, holy smokes, I didn't realize I was already here. And
right.
But I think it's so fulfilling. And I think that you become a better person by doing these things. I think we talked to Melissa Bartfield, for her to go do on her journey. That still has me. I still think that I would like to either experience it, or I'd like to know more about it.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. I know you can probably never do it, but it'd be interesting to be able to see what these people see and see. Because I was just thinking about this the other day, and I was trying to figure out how to put it into post. But I think when you have bad dreams or you have thoughts when you're asleep, it's kind of like getting into the sauna and sweating them out. I don't know if that's the way it is.
Interesting. Yeah, I never thought about it that way.
Is that your mind getting rid of some of those bad thoughts? And we'll just say this. Monday, it was just one of those crappy nights that I was restless in my mind. And I don't know if I was overtired. Because I think the time changed. I'm just going here. No, it'd been in, and then Tuesday, I had a great sleep.
Interesting.
But it's just funny, like all these things come back into your head, and I don't know if they're your mind's trying to push things out and fix the problem, or is it like a sweat? Because I truly believe that you're trying to get rid of the impurities in your body.
Maybe.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I
that's a
mean,
good.
those are thoughts that come
Yeah,
into my
that's a
head.
good.
Those are
That's a
crazy
good.
thoughts.
Well, that's not so crazy. I mean, I've heard worse. So, I think it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's lots of theories and kind of options out there in terms of dreams.
hmm
I think you can interpret it however you want.
But I mean, where I'm coming up with this is like I went out on my walk then though, and I'm some days I'm dragging and I'm trying to think and those are the kind of things that pop into my head. Like I'm trying to reason with myself why I had the restless night, and then I'm saying, well, maybe because I believe it's a choice of how you start your day, and I wake up, do my routine, and I was not in the best mood. We'll just say I'm trying. I know I need to go do things, but I don't think it's discipline in the aspect that I'm doing this. I think it's a need. I think it's a feel now. It's something that I need to go do. I think discipline is somewhere maybe in there, but I really believe that you need to. And that's where I got walking, and I thought about that, and I got into a better mood. And then because I try never to go anywhere in a bad mood, because I think when you give that vibe of a bad mood, then everybody's going to be in a either tense or in a bad mood themselves. So some days I would do uh, probably act, but you know what? By acting in that good mood, you're not putting people in a bad mood. So it always ends up usually pretty good.
Well, I think like my wife and I have been talking lately about this same kind of vaguely the same subject about frequency, right? Like the frequency that you put off, the frequency that you attract, and yeah, it's contagious for sure. Like, and everyone knows. I mean, you guys have all seen it when you got that, especially that grumpy surgeon comes in, or whatever it is. But those frequencies or those attitudes or energy, we could call it, whatever you want to call it. I think it's real. I do. I think you can definitely feel that vibe, I guess, as the Gen Z would say. But
Well, I go through this book, but I'm reading The Lost Laws of Manifestation.
oh yeah,
Have you read
I
it?
haven't read it, but yeah,
What you're talking about is in that book
yeah.
about frequencies. Our brain puts out frequencies,
Mm,
and manifestation is also in being alignment with God and your brain frequency. And people pick up on the frequencies that you're putting out. And you may think I'm crazy or something out there, but I just started looking at it like that. If you are a better person, and if you start putting out frequencies that are good, and you're thinking that way, and you're aligned with, it was like this. This is one example. Maybe I shouldn't be saying, but it's like you have, an, if you can't handle money, we'll say, and you want money, and you keep on saying, like some people say, write down that you want $10,000. Keep on writing it down, write it down, write it down, and people stop believing that, but that they're going to get it because sometimes it never happens. Where it said, where when you, so now you get $10,000. If you have $10,000 and you are aligned, and you are using it in being good with your money, we'll say, and now you start manifesting that you want more in a good way, you're aligned and you can be trusted with it. So manifestation might come. It's kind of, it was just, I'm just giving you the cliff notes.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of that. I heard that, I don't know if it was on a podcast or something, the other day, but yeah, I think that circulates in various forms of like, whether it's manifestation or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's the same principle, just people just call it a different name, but essentially like attracts like, or like if you're not like, if you're out there searching for money for the wrong reasons, maybe it's not going to come so easy to you. If you're out there searching for fame for the wrong reasons, maybe not. That's funny. We were talking about this the other day, the karma aspect, you know, like that's the same thing. That it's like karma comes to good people, but just because you're a good person doesn't mean bad things don't happen to you. And just because you're a bad person doesn't mean bad things or good things happen. It just seems to be a coincidence on how you interpret, right? Let's go back to the beginning of our conversation, right? The story that we tell ourselves, you could justify that, oh man, that person has bad karma and this happened to them, or that person. But I think it's real. I think energy and frequency and just being a good person, I think means a lot. Like being a kind person. I was, Natalie started posting some of this like similar stuff with just a positive like energy, like reading those affirmations. But I read that it was really good. I can't remember what it was, but just who you are as a person, like if you are in your home, right? The person you are in your home to the people that matter and the people that don't see you, how you are in that situation when people are not watching you, right? Mm-hmm. If he's a good dad, he's a this, that might be true, but if you're in behind closed doors, then you're an imposter, right? You're just putting a show on for everybody, and that's not genuine, and that doesn't make you a good person. And I think there's a lot of people out there that put on a big show, and it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to you what that person is doing or not doing, but I think deep down it makes you not happy. Like you're living two lives. You want to be someone, but you're not that person, or vice versa. It doesn't. I don't know. That's a good point. I hope that's in line with what you're talking about. Well, not some random thought.
No, but that is because karma. I believe in karma. I believe that I believe that when I changed my life, and I'm because when I got down after my divorce, when I got down, I stayed down and nothing good was happening to me because I was down, because I was negative, because everything around me, I kept on digging a hole deeper because I was not in a good place and I wasn't in a good mood. I'm trying to, and I believe that karma, manifestation, frequency, whatever it was, because I was putting off that bad vibe. I was putting off because I kept on digging my hole deeper because I kept on, and it's funny, you met me on top of Crow Peak. I mean, that was a different time, but I was climbing earlier than that at times, just trying to find myself, and I kept on praying to God to change me, but I wasn't changing myself. I wasn't putting out the positiveness. So later, when I found peace, I found God, I found all kinds of things that were positive in my life, I started changing and good things started happening. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen fast, but it starts happening. Little things that are good start happening. So what happened to me was I kept on telling myself personally, so when you close that door, I'm still going to be the person I am right now if we close the door, because I've made that change in life that for me to be positive, I have to be positive myself. To tell myself, you have and I'm not saying there's all good days, but I'm saying my mental. I went for that walk the other day. Why did I have bad dreams? And then I talked myself into being into a good mood again. This is why you're sweating these out, yeah, and roughly. But I do believe in karma. I do believe that those energies that you put off are reciprocal. And I give you good vibes and you give me good vibes, and those frequencies are meld. And I think good things happen throughout those good frequencies. Maybe I'm wrong too. I don't know, but
Yeah, but
maybe
it doesn't matter if you're wrong, because I mean, people are wrong all the time. That's life, and I think everyone has their thing. So.
I do too. It's fun to chat with you because we can talk about we go off on different tangents. Even
yeah, I'm not anywhere near qualified to talk about karma. I am a great orthopedic surgeon, but karma is, I didn't really study that. So, but I think to tie it back in, because a lot of people listen to this for health wise, I think a good attitude is so powerful in terms of how you feel. Your knees. If you keep saying my knees hurt, your mind focuses on your knees. Or I have a lot of patients that identify themselves as I have a bad knee, or my knee is bad, or my shoulder is bad, or whatever it is you tell yourself. Well, that's not a story that's going to, attract positive change. Like, my shoulder's maybe not as good as I want it to be, but it will be, or whatever you want to tell your story. People focus on the negatives, and I think the mind, again, is a very powerful thing. I was talking to a good friend earlier today about like a healing journey, for example, and people that essentially are not invested, right? There's a lot of this nowadays of you have to invest in your health. You have to be a participant in your health. You have to get better. No one is going to get better for you. No one can do the work. No one can do the journey. We can tell you. We can suggest books. We can suggest podcasts. You can listen to all these podcasts, but no one can do the work for you, and no one can change your mind. Like, you have to be the one to get yourself better, to get yourself up off the couch, to hike Crow Peak, to change your life. And I think, I shouldn't be preaching all this because I can't even hardly do it myself. But it's like a change that you got to make, or stop telling yourself you are a certain way if you want to change. And so, again, I'll go back, because we live in this day and age. It's okay if you don't want to change. It's okay if you want to be that person. But we're talking about people that are interested in that are interested in optimizing their life.
And that's what I want. That's why I'm trying to do. That's what interests me at the moment. I used to read a lot of fiction here and there, mostly Western fiction, but now I'm trying to find everything I can to make myself better and optimal. If that's talking to myself, like, that's the decision that I have made. I may not be sprinting at 81 like that guy was.
I think you can, yeah.
But but I'm not saying I'm 58 and I can't do more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be 58, but I'm not saying that I'm 58 and I can't do more. I'm saying, you know what? I may not be 20, but I'm going to darn well push and see what I can do at the age right now. I'm not going to slow down. I'm going to keep on. It is so funny, like, when I was climbing Crow Peak, that 100, and it was, like I said, and that's funny when we met, because I was climbing it then, and I don't think Bella was with me that day, but I had people saying, "You're killing your dog." Well, Bella climbed with me 60 times. Bella had the time of her life. Are you going to say that hiking Crow Peak with a dog, with the freedom that she had, because that's just crazy to me. I got messages that you're killing her because you're pushing her too hard. No, she wants to. We were not running.
Yeah.
We were hiking.
They're trained. I don't know. I can't remember what kind of dog it is.
She was a chocolate lab. Yeah.
That's what they're meant to do. I mean, if it was like a wiener schnitzel dog maybe, or something like that.
I probably had a bag and would have carried her up.
Like a frou-frou dog, but those dogs enjoy that. Like we have a dog, it's some kind of designer mutt, but
Yeah.
that dog will run. I mean, he doesn't want to be inside. Yeah, they'll go outside and hike and run and do whatever they want. So
Yeah.
but again, it's a story that people tell. It's the craziness of like the thought, right? I always get really hung up on this, and then forgive me for being so passionate about it. Is if it sounds good, right? It's this liberals and whatever. I mean, I don't want to get too political, but like these people that, it sounds good. You sound heroic saying you're going to save this dog.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, it's none of your business. It's my dog.
Yeah.
Like I can do whatever I want with my dog. Why do you have to interject your opinion? But it sounds good, right, Rick?
Yeah, it does.
It sounds good when you say it. So yeah, but why? It makes no sense whatsoever. So just like everything we're doing nowadays, like, it sounds good. But just because verbally it sounds good does not mean this is a good idea.
No, because you didn't see how happy she was climbing.
This is crazy.
I mean, she was with me all the time, and then she cut her foot, and I let her heal up, and we didn't go up on hot days. That's why, actually, probably that's why I really started loving sunrises, because we'd go up early because it was cooler, for one thing. But her and I went through a lot of adventures, and it was just amazing. And for people to, like you said, it sounds good to you, but maybe laying on the couch eating Cheetos, binge watching The View is good to you. It's not good to me.
Yeah, maybe mind your own business.
Yeah,
the trolls online. That's a problem. Is there's a bunch of trolls online that just say the stupidest things because they can just type it down and be like, oh, well, you shouldn't be doing this. Says who?
Exactly.
Like what? It's bad for who? Like who made you king of the dog patrol or whatever? I mean, we're not just talking about a dog.
No.
But it's just like, everyone interjects their own opinion, and I think it's silly sometimes because it sounds good, and then it catches, and so then somebody else says it, and then you're a hero because you're protecting a dog that doesn't need to be protected, that you have no idea what's going on, and we could extrapolate this to anything, the anything socially that's going on and all that stuff. It's the same thing, mind your business, stay in your lane. As I'm an orthopedic surgeon talking about random stuff.
No, but you're an orthopedic surgeon, and people that aren't orthopedic surgeons are saying you shouldn't be climbing as much as you do because you're going to hurt your knees. Well, you're the one I'm coming to. You do know about my knees because you've seen them.
Yeah.
You've read the X-rays. You did see how this.
That's what everyone asks me all the time. Well, what should I do? What can I do? What can I not do? I'm like, well, I don't know. Does your X-ray or your MRI help me understand how you're going to do something?
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't. I can offer my opinion, but ultimately it's your choice. I use this analogy all the time. Well, am I going to be able to do this? I'm like, well, you can go dunk a basketball if you want. They're like, well, I can't dunk that bat. Well, yeah, no kidding. You're 5'2". But you can.
Yeah.
You can, but are you able to do that?
Yeah.
That's always the hard question in life. Well, you can do whatever you want to do, but you have to do things.
Yeah.
And if you're able, then you're able. Your X-rays don't define what you can do. And I think, people get stuck on, they want rules, right? You want a guideline, but you don't want to do the work to say, well, I'm gonna walk, or I'm gonna hike a quarter way up Crow Peak and see how I do the next day. Well, if you are not doing well, then you probably did too much. But people don't want to take the time, right? Now they have the new AI device. Have you heard about this?
Mm-mm.
So it's an AI that can plan your future. Yeah.
Really?
It tells you exactly what to do.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, the point of life is to go through life enjoying the journey, and figuring it out. If you tell your kids what to do, or if I tell my patients what to do all the time and give them a strict schedule, kids, whatever it is, you don't learn. And so how do you grow with that attitude? If you just do the same thing, or you do what they tell you to do, then how do you know? You can only hike 3/4 of 3/4 of the way up Crow Peak because you have arthritis in your knee. What? That's crazy. Yeah.
Because it's interesting that there are days that I didn't feel, I told myself, you know what, I'm only going to climb halfway up because I'm just not feeling it today, and I climbed all the way up. And there's other times I've got halfway and said, you know what, I'm going to turn around. And I'm not all, it's just one of those days I'm not feeling it, and I just turned around. But nobody should tell, an AI should never, oh
Isn't
my
it crazy?
God, that is crazy.
It's so crazy. Yeah. But I mean, I use it all the time, but not that particular one.
Yeah.
But I mean, AI is great because it extrapolates all kinds of data. But the fact that, now it's again, right? It's that like everyone wants to be told what to do. Because why, Rick? Why do they want to be told what to do? Because it's easier, right?
Yeah.
It's easier. You don't have to move through life. You don't make a mistake. No one wants to make a mistake. No one wants to stick their neck out to say, I've done something great, because there's a lot of people that are just status quo is okay. Yeah. You and I are not obviously those people. And I'm not making fun of those people or, downplaying what they want to do, because that's great. That's what they want to do. But you can't have your cake and eat it. Like you can't be told what to do everywhere and then want to go have this magical experience or do this exciting thing. That the two don't go together. Yeah.
No, because I know people that are focused, and they wanna plan when you go on a trip. They want to know what they're doing, and I'm the guy that gets in the vehicle and we see where we're going to go. I have a destination.
Yeah.
But you know what? That gravel road over there looks good, and I think I can get around there. I mean, I got myself in bad situations before, but the adventure is worth talking about.
Well, that's funny you say that, because I went to Australia,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes I do these crazy trips, and we could talk about this forever, but I'm like, I'm just going to go. I didn't have any plans. I rented a camper van and just drove around kind of Australia. It wasn't that long. It was like 5 days or something like that. But I don't want plans. I don't want a hotel room. I want to be able to do whatever I want. And I just, one day I ended up driving down the beach because I found a road on the beach. One day I rented a motorcycle, rode like 80 miles. And so I think as you, the freedom of those choices are great. I'm a planner, though. My wife will laugh at me when she listens to this, but I like to plan things too. But I had a structured vacation and structured things, but I also wanted that freedom sometimes to do different things, or to be able to flow through the moment. I think it helps sometimes. It helps me anyways, but the adventure of things anyways. Yeah.
I do too, because I think that it's problem solving too, in the aspect that I will figure this stuff out on the run. I'm not saying that all the time. I understand that you need to have a plan sometimes, but a lot of the times I don't. Say hunting, you go on a trip elk hunting for a week. You don't know what's going to happen.
Just a general idea.
It's just a general idea.
Yeah, like we're going to be in this area or whatever.
And in those cases, Cindy knows where I am. I have a spot. I also have the one where I can text her if I don't have service. I'm all right. Text her that in the night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before I go to bed. Text her in the morning when I wake up. And then she's at ease.
Yeah.
In this day and age, you can do that. I mean, there was days you couldn't do that, but in this day and age, you can do that. But I'm saying, she was a big planner. I would get mad at her because she's pulling up I want you to look out the windows when we're driving through you know what I mean? It's kind of like that. And she's looking at the map, going on her phone, looking, this is where we are. And then we'd get into no service because we get up in the mountains and the Bighorns or wherever. And she's, where are we at? I don't know. I knew where we were, but I don't know where we are. And she'd get mad at me. But
yeah,
it's one of those deals.
Well, I just think life is an adventure.
It is.
It's what I keep telling myself anyways. So.
Well, I'm glad you came over. I was looking forward to. I look forward to every conversation we have, and
I don't know if I was very beneficial. We talked about some random stuff.
Well,
but, yeah.
it doesn't have to be. They don't have. People don't have to listen to orthopedic stuff all the time here.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
they can listen to our conversation, and if they extrapolate anything out of what we were talking about, then that's good.
Yeah.
That's where I
true.
get.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I didn't really have any. I didn't have any knee problems. I didn't have anything to ask you
Yeah, we
about
don't.
any.
That's good.
That is
Yeah,
good.
That's
you
good.
know?
Yeah.
And I haven't seen you for a while, so
Yeah.
I just thought, we'll have a Don't Die Rusty catch up with Dr. Ray Jensen episode.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's good. Yeah, it's always fun. I mean, I love being on this because it does put me a little bit out of my comfort zone. That's also why, you always like to try to do hard things and different things, and definitely like speaking and engaging maybe is not my strong suit. So I always like to challenge myself a little bit and
I love it.
just talk it out. Plus, my grandma she listens to it, so I get to send it to her. She loves it.
Well, I love that.
Yeah. She loves
Maybe we should talk sometime
there you
too.
Yeah, she just turned 92.
Oh, I love it.
So, yeah, it's pretty good.
And maybe she could give us some tips on.
She could, yeah.
you know.
She's a mover and a go-getter too. So,
I love that. So I'll have Natalie on and have your grandma.
Yeah, just do a family episode or something.
We'll get a boom mic and I'll come out to Boise.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you're always welcome. I haven't kind of found out what Boise's all about just yet. We haven't been there that long, but we're excited to try a new adventure in someplace else. But we do miss South Dakota.
Well, I do plan on coming out there someday, so you might be showing. I might show up at your doorstep someday.
There you go. Everyone's always invited.
So instead of asking you what's a good life, I'm going to ask you, what's your next adventure?
My next adventure? Well, that's a good question. Yeah. Right now I'm starting my kind of like a new practice idea essentially in Idaho. And so I'm trying to get that up and running, which has been challenging. It's different, trying to start it and figure out a better way to navigate the healthcare system. So it'll be interesting to see if we can get that to work. I don't know. There's more people in Boise, and so I'm excited, trying to get some traction out in that area, and we'll see. All the little details are hard. What to name it, what the structure is, how many people you got to hire. So that's my new life adventure. But other than that, we're just going on vacation. So
well, good, because doing this business stuff, I have no business acumen. I have ideas, and that's my problem.
It's hard.
It is. I mean, I have all these ideas, and people say you need to go do that, but I don't know how to do some of this stuff, and I'm learning on the run, and I'm just shooting from the hip sometimes. But I hope the website goes, and I hope people like some of the merch I got going out for Don't Die Rusty, and then I hope I'm trying to get into the real estate drone business, and I'm trying to do this and that, and we'll see where we go.
Well, we talked right before we came on, right? We were kind of talking about this, and I tell my kids this all the time. I mean, and it's not a bad thing, but I think you got to hustle. Like, I know some people don't really like that word, but I think like trying to figure things out, and it doesn't come easy for everybody. The people that it comes easy for talk about it probably more, but there's a lot of people out there that have been successful, and I don't know if successful is even the right word, but happy, just hustling, getting your website running. I mean, I think a lot of you, Rick, I think this is a huge undertaking I think you have tons of followers and you've reached out to so many people, and just putting yourself out there and talking about hard things to talk about. There's a lot of people that benefit from that. So I think that's great. You change lives, and you should be commended for just being out there, like being vulnerable and being willing to talk to all kinds of crazy people, and especially me, and just having me on. I think it's a real pleasure to be on. So.
Well, you're a staple to the Don't Die Rusty podcast. I'll tell you right now.
Is it my third one?
It's your third one.
It's my third one. Yeah. I'm not as high as Ashley yet, but
We talk about it. And
yeah,
see, that's the other thing. Like
yeah.
Ashley and I and Kelly Lovelace, we talk about a lot of off the wall stuff. Like I call them up and say, "Hey, I have this idea,"
Mm-hmm.
and we never know where we're gonna go. So this is kind of like this one here. Like I was at work today, and I'm thinking, what am I going to talk to Ray about? And then I said, we're going to just talk.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's fine. It's just information, and I can't even remember what we talked about. I'll have to go back and listen.
Well, I'll have. I know we talked about karma, which is
Something.
I love that stuff. I love manifest. I love all the stuff we talked about. So, I just want to say thank you for coming on. And
It's my pleasure always. It's good to see you too.
Good to see you.
I'm not here. I'm just not here in South Dakota very often, so I thought I'd reach out. We were going to hike yesterday, but it was terrible.
Isn't it funny? And
terrible
and
weather.
tomorrow's supposed to be 70.
I know, right? I got to fly home tomorrow.
And those flakes were just huge yesterday.
It's freezing cold too.
So maybe next time you come out, we'll be able to go hike.
We'll do it, yeah. Well, plus the time change.
Yeah.
It bumps it. I thought it was going to bump the other way, but it actually makes it darker in the morning. So,
but that'll be good if you come out the next time, because we should have sunrise, and it would be really good.
Yeah, hopefully the weather's better.
Yeah, well, I hope so too.
Is there snow on Crow Peak now?
There is snow on Crow Peak.
Yeah.
Tonight there will be. Probably
a little bit, yeah.
The wind's supposed to come up. It'll probably disappear.
Oh, yeah. Well, that'll be. I think it's supposed to be 80 degrees, my wife said, in Boise, so I'm I'm headed home to do some water skiing or something crazy.
And then you're going to Jackson.
Crazy, yeah. Who knows?
But I was out at Jackson over Christmas, and they were scared down in the bottoms because there is no snow.
Oh, it's been a terrible snow year. I worry about the moisture and the fires and all that stuff.
And it's all over the West. It isn't just in one place.
It's been terrible.
Well, thank you for coming on here. I truly feel privileged to call you a friend, and I'm,
right back at you.
And I'll be getting a hold of you there. And
sounds good. Yeah.
Everybody, just keep chasing your dreams, being the best you. Don't die rusty. I want to thank you for listening to this episode of the Don't Die Rusty podcast. And if you would be so kind to give us a review, a like, a share, and a subscribe, that'd be wonderful, and I would greatly appreciate it. And if you would like to follow us on Facebook, we're at Don't Die Rusty. If you'd like to follow us on Instagram, it's at Don't Die Rusty. And if you would like to get in contact with me, it's rick@don'tdierusty.com. And I just want to say I appreciate everybody listening, and as usual, keep chasing your dreams, being the best you, and don't die rusty.